Ooh, I don't know what that was. That's not very much money. Hell yeah, Wings, play Wolfenstein. Well, thank you, Brett. The ball's so big, can't even fit in the parking spot. Ask me what it costs to say a lot. Can you see the Chevrolet bow tie above his ass? No, I'm not gonna get no damn tramp stamp of a Chevrolet bow tie. You gonna send me Snap-on merchandise? I don't have a PO box, but you can find my address pretty easy. Oh, JB, will we get the most important what are the most important details to get right if I wanted to dress up as Wings of Redemption for tonight's Halloween party? You gotta have some chili stains on your shirt and a headset on. I think those are the two most important details. Wings, you should make some donation goals, bud. Things that you can... Come on, dude. Every time. Every time. No, you just knocked my soda over. Be right back, boys. Yeah, he's sneak dissing. Now my desk smells like vanilla extract. I have this like Coke Zero, and I went and got some vanilla extract, and I put like a cap full of vanilla extract in the Coke Zero to give me like vanilla Coke Zero instead of having to go like pay Sonic to make it for me. I can just do it at home. that 8-ounce bottle of kiwi vanilla extract will probably last me 200 cans of Coke Zero. So like, if you take that and you factor in like, let's not even factor in gas to go get it from Sonic, because then it's just not even the thing. But like, the amount of like, it's $1.32 to get a large Coke Zero vanilla at Sonic. So like in the same, I could get 12 of those, or I can get 200 cans. Sonic's like a drive-through. It's like an ice cream drink spot. They serve like grill food, like hot dogs, hamburgers, and shit like that. No, since we don't trick or treat, what me and my wife are gonna go do is we're gonna go get like some little baby pumpkins, and we're going to like the plastic ones, and we're gonna fill them with candy and take them to all our nieces and nephews. Kind of like deliver them. No, I don't pumpkin carve. Like, pumpkin carving's too, like, it's too ooky. Like, I don't like getting shit on my hands. I mean, like, I could do it. All you really do is like cut a circle on the top and then like take a head beater. Kiwi Farms is a place that cyberbully for the most part. That's what Kiwi Farms does. Like, it's just like a nest of people that get together that want to be scum of the earth without any consequences. That's what Kiwi Farms is. I mean, that's a hard thing to talk about, Healer. Like, should Kiwi Farms be taken off the internet? Here's the thing with policing speech. If you police a certain type of speech, right, where does the line get drawn at? But at the other time, like, just because somebody doesn't like something, do you stop letting them say it, right? Because at that point, when you can slowly, like, trim back until things that are not unreasonable are no longer allowed to be said, right? Like speaking against a political party, or like making a certain type of music, or whatever it might be. So like, that's a very thin line to talk about, like, should something be or not be on the internet, and it's not my call either way, right? But at the same time, you're not allowed to yell fire in a theater. So like, it's like where's the no nonsense line that is the no nonsense line? Actually, you're not possessed by pool. If you yell fire in the theater and it causes people to leave in a hurry, that's against the law. That's called. And then there's different ways you can. I don't know what it's actually called. I know it's not disturbing the peace, but essentially it's the same kind of concept as disturbing the peace, but there's a higher tier to it. Like there's things that you can't do. It's like for example, like America, we're all about guns, right? But there's certain guns you can't own. Like you can't own like an AT-4 rocket launcher. You can't own a working military tank. Like working mean like the turret works, like it has a firing mechanism and stuff like that. Like there's just things you're not allowed to own. Do I feel like people should be able to get around and make fun of people on the internet? Yes and no, right? If it sticks to just being like, yo, look at these fatties. You know, I'm just going to use fat because I'm fat, right? You know, it's like, look at these fatties. You know, okay, whatever. But the fact is, it never stays at that. It always creates resentment. Like, look at the Paul Pelosi thing right now. Like, somebody went to his house in their underwear and beat him with a fucking hammer. And it hasn't come out yet. And I'm pulling shit out my ass right now. But I would make a educated guess that man that attacked Paul Pelosi had his TV permanently tuned to Fox News. It will not shock me if that comes out. Because, like, when you create a narrative for so long, people begin to believe that narrative, regardless of what it is. You don't believe this? I mean, Alex Jones made a career out of it. And like, but it is what it is. Like I said, like it's a very, very not cut and dry kind of thing. Like, at one hand, you don't want to curtail speech, because if you start cutting free speech, where does it stop getting cut at, right? Like, what is no longer allowed to be said? Like, if you go look at like places like the 1980s China, right, where like you could get sent to jail or like put in torture camps for like talking bad about like the state of China or like any of the Chinese politician, and state of China being like the political state in the current Chinese regime. You know, it's like you don't want to be there, right? But you also don't want to be the person whose whole life is so sad that he sits around and hates on somebody that he's never going to meet. There's one thing I always tried to explain, because like my family is mainly Republican, Southern Free Will Baptist Republican, and my mother is what I call a stark crazy Republican. Like, she's the kind of person that believes in like Operation Jade Helm, and she believes in all this other shit. Like, anything that's as right wing as possible, she'll believe in it. That's who my mother is. And there was this thing where like one of the Duck Dynasty guys, the old one, I forgot his Pat Robertson, or I don't know his name, but the old one, the daddy, the father figure of the Duck Dynasty, he got kicked off the show for being openly objective based off his religious take, right? And basically he says the Bible says this and I believe this and blah, blah, blah. And it didn't sit with the, I think it was the TLC or whatever channel he was on. So he got fired from the show. And people want to be like, free speech, free speech, free speech. And it's like, he was able to say what he wanted to say, but since he was in a contract with a company, he breached that contract by saying something that was so off the wall. Like Kanye West is going through that right now with his anti-Semitic comments. And it's not that I'm trying to sound smart, is that I'm trying to not get fucking clipped, right? Because like people use everything they can against me. And it's hard to talk about some of these subjects without saying words that are deemed inappropriate. It is what it is. Like I've gotten over the point where people use stuff against me. Somebody asked what Operation Jade Helm is. Operation Jade Helm was something that I heard from Alex Jones, and it's completely fake. Take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt. But Alex Jones was convinced that, I think it was the Obama cabinet. I think it was Obama. But basically, the left-wing Democrats were going to start commandeering Walmarts, and they were going to build makeshift prisons to harbor Christians because they're run by Satanists. That's what Operation Jade Helm is. And like, I remember this and so vividly because like my mother sent this to me and said, "See, I was right."